My dentist saved my life with paper and 6 words. I sat, shaking inside the back of a police car outside the dental office, wrapped in gray. A thin blanket failing to stop violent trembling through glass, I watched officers escort him outside the building in handcuffs, head lowered, wrists restrained. I knew exactly who he truly was then. 3 hours earlier, he kissed me goodbye, their same parking lot, promised waiting until I finished. 3 hours earlier, I believed he was mine, kind, patient. Boyfriend of 3 months together, then I felt lucky finding someone so good once now. I watched him shoved into squad car while a detective explained his name was false, wanted across 2 states. I was meant to never leave alive there only because my dentist noticed something I missed and warned me silently. I must take you back before that morning to show my blindness. My name is Brooke. At 25 years, I thought life sorted. I worked office administration at real estate company in Madison, Wisconsin, managing tasks, schedules, paperwork. Agents organized it, paid bills kindly. I lived alone downtown. Their routines, simple, predictable days passed. My mother, Janine, lived nearby, hours away in the small town asterisk where I grew up. There she raised me mostly alone, and my older sister too. After our father left us when I was 7 years, she worked exhausting double shifts as a hotel housekeeper daily for years, feeding, clothing us. Even after we grew up, she never stopped worrying, ever. Every Sunday call always included reminders to lock my doors, be careful walking alone nights, trust instincts when something felt wrong. I told her she worried too much and I was fine. My sister Natalie was 30, living in Minneapolis, happily married. With her husband and toddler daughter, we stayed close despite busy lives. Sisters bonded quietly over time, texting more often than calling, sharing pictures, voice notes instead when schedules never aligned well. She was busy with motherhood. I avoided burdening her unnecessarily with small details of my life. Looking back now, I regret not telling her everything sooner. I wish I had spoken. I wish I'd told someone 3 months before that Thursday. I met a man downtown inside a small, cozy bookstore. Browsing fiction when hands collided, reaching for the same book. We laughed, talked easily together, ended up sharing coffee nearby. His name was Marcus Webb, or so he told me. He was mid-30s, tall, dark hair, warm, easy smile that comforted me immediately. He worked pharmaceutical sales, traveling often, which explained limited availability weekly. Marcus seemed everything I wanted: patient, attentive, thoughtful, and kind, remembering details I mentioned, casually bringing them up later. Thoughtfully, he never rushed my pace, always respecting my boundaries gently. He asked about family, dreams, work, passions, hopes for future. He seemed truly interested, sincerely. After many disappointing dating experiences, I believed I found someone real. The Thursday of my dental appointment began like any day. I woke, dressed, checked my phone, saw a text from Marcus: still picking you up today at 9:30 sharp. Lunch after sounds perfect. My car was in shop getting new brakes installed. Marcus offered to drive me to my routine dental checkup. I thought it was sweet. A caring boyfriend gesture indeed. He arrived exactly on time, driving the familiar silver sedan. We chatted comfortably en route about movies, restaurants, weekend plans. Everything felt normal and easy. Everything felt completely safe. Then the dental office sat quietly in a small medical plaza about 15 minutes from home. I had gone there years, same dentist consistently for 3. A kind man, Dr. Aguilar, with a calm, reassuring manner. His hygienist Rosa remembered details, asking thoughtful follow-up questions. It felt like genuine care. Marcus parked, walked me inside, his hand light on my back. The waiting room was small, quiet chairs, television, muted news. Marcus sat near the window, pulled out his phone casually. I will be right here when you are finished today. He smiled warmly at me. Take your time, he said. I smiled back, feeling grateful. Then I followed Rosa inside, down the hallway, to exam, completely unaware of what waited. Less than 30 minutes later, everything I knew would shatter. Subscribe for more stories, please. Tell me where you watch. The appointment began normally enough. Rosa guided me to chair, placed a paper bib. Gently, she asked about work lately. I mentioned new agent listings. She shared her daughter's soccer news, complaining about chaotic schedules already. Normal talk, ordinary calm morning. I leaned back, staring upward, watching ceiling tiles. Quietly as she cleaned my teeth, metal scraping enamel familiar. Sound 15 minutes later, doctor. Aguilar entered, wearing his white coat, hair graying neatly combed today, glasses perched low on nose. He smiled, asked how. I was pulled on fresh gloves calmly and began examining carefully. Let us see how things look, he said, leaning closer gently. I opened my mouth obediently, eyes wandering around the room like during every appointment before. I noticed a ceiling stain, a cartoon tooth poster smiling, Rosa organized tools, softly humming. Then something suddenly shifted subtly. Dr. Aguilar paused mid-examination, tools resting against lower teeth. He was not watching my mouth. His gaze moved behind me toward the hallway window pane. I could not see anything but sensed tension in him, eyes tightening, jaws set. Firm after a moment, he resumed movements, slower, deliberate, controlled, like he was buying time. Everything looks good so far, he said, his voice calm and professional. Calm. Rosa, please hand me the periodontal probe now. Rosa passed the tool quietly, glancing briefly toward the door before looking away. Expression blank. Minutes later, Dr. Aguilar finished, set tools down, stepped back. He picked a small notepad used for some notes, referrals usually. He wrote quickly, then turned, holding it, so only I could clearly see the message, 6 words in blue ink. Not if you need help, do not speak now. My heart stopped completely still. I read it twice slowly, then again, confused, frightened. Stunned. This had to be wrong, some misunderstanding, strange silent joke, but Dr. Aguilar's face showed no humor, only calm urgency. Eyes locked onto mine, waiting for any response from me. I had no idea what I was meant to do or why my thoughts raced wildly everywhere, none of it making sense. Was something wrong medically inside? Had he found a problem? Why was I silent then? He glanced doorward again, just a fraction of time. And suddenly I understood everything. This was not about me. This was about someone else, someone waiting out there nearby. My stomach dropped hard instantly. I nodded once carefully. Dr. Aguilar wrote again, quickly turned the pad toward me. The man who brought you. Do you know him, Marcus? He meant Marcus. I hesitated, heart pounding loudly. 3 months felt like forever when living inside that time, but there in that chair I realized how little I actually truly knew him. I knew only what told the version he chose, showing did I really know him. Slowly I shook my head. No, not really at all. Dr. Aguilar leaned in closer, pretending to check back molars, his face inches from mine, voice barely audible as whisper. Someone dangerous waits outside now. I saw him on news last week, clearly recognized. Stay calm, please trust us. Police already called and coming. We will keep you safe. The room tilted violently sideways. I gripped chair armrests, tight knuckles whitening under pressure. Every instinct screamed, run, escape. Get up, leave immediately now, but I could not move. The man I trusted, dated, sat 30 feet away, waiting to take me to lunch, smiling patiently. He was dangerous, truly dangerous, and blocked the only exit. Cold flooded through my veins like ice water poured inside. I wanted to sit up, to run, scream, demand answers. But Dr. Aguilar's hand rested firm, gentle upon my shoulder, holding me safely in place. His eyes said everything clearly. Stay still, stay silent. Trust us completely now. He straightened and spoke normally, voice loud enough, carrying through thin walls, nearby listening ears. Everything looks great. Brooke today. Rosa will take x-rays just to be sure, then schedule next cleaning soon. His tone, casual, routine, practiced, almost convincing. Nothing was wrong, but I saw tension still. Shoulders tight, eyes darting doorward. He was acting deliberately, buying time. Rosa moved beside me, calmly, face professional, despite shaking hands as she adjusted x-ray equipment. She guided me from chair toward the machine corner, placed heavy lead apron securely across my chest, leaning close, adjusting mouth sensor. She whispered softly into ear, the police, are on their way now. We must keep you back here safely until they finally arrive soon. Just breathe slowly with us. We will not let anything happen to you. I nodded silently once, not trusting my voice. My throat felt tight, closing in painfully hard. Tears burned at corners of my tired eyes. I blinked them back, focused on breathing steadily, in and out, slowly, in and out again. Do not panic now. Do not fall apart, Dr. Aguilar excused himself, saying paperwork needed checking for another patient briefly. I watched him leave calmly, footsteps measured, unhurried, normal, like any Thursday morning. Later I learned truth, what he actually did. He walked to front desk, spoke quietly to a receptionist young woman named Heather, working there only months, he told. Her softly locked main entrance quietly ensured no one leaves without using the back. Then he walked out into waiting room, casually sat across from Marcus. They made easy small talk. Dr. Aguilar asked politely about his day today, mentioned weather, traffic. Complaints asked if he lived nearby, what work he did, how long we dated. Marcus answered smoothly, charmingly, same way he always. He had no idea. Dr. Aguilar was stalling, stretching seconds carefully, slowly, while police cars raced toward the building. Fast back in exam room, I sat frozen still in the X-ray chair, staring at ceiling blankly without really seeing it. Rosa stood beside me, hand resting on arm. She talked about soccer practice, about warming spring weather, about a recipe planned for the coming weekend. Her voice stayed light, cheerful, almost convincingly calm, clashing with fear visible behind her steady eyes. I tried hard listening, tried focusing on words. But my mind spiraled back to Marcus, always to those 3 months spent. Trusting him fully, every dinner, every kiss, every night he stayed inside my apartment safely. He knew where I lived, he knew my schedule, which door I used, where I parked daily. What had he planned? What would have happened if Dr. Aguilar failed too? Recognize his face. I thought of my mother alone, 2 hours away watching morning television, quietly drinking her second coffee. I thought of Natalie in Minneapolis, laughing breathless, chasing her toddler around the living room together they had. No idea what was unfolding nearby. They did not know that right now here my life hung fragile by a thin thread. Every second dragged endlessly. I waited for footsteps echoing down the hallway, for Marcus' voice, calling, asking where I was for a handle. Turning, my heart raced wildly, pulsing hard in temples. Then from outside somewhere came the sound, changing everything forever for me. Sirens, faint at first, then louder, closer, fast. Rosa squeezed my hand, and for the first time since fear began, I let myself breathe. The sirens stopped outside, directly beside the building. I heard car doors slamming sharply shut, nearby heavy footsteps on pavement, muffled voices issuing commands. Rosa kept her hand steady on my arm, holding me firmly seated. In the X-ray chair, neither of us moved, neither of us spoke. We only listened closely, straining to hear events unfolding down the hall. The front door opened. I heard Dr. Aguilar's voice, calm, measured greeting. Someone, then other voices followed, deeper, more authoritative tones. Police officers were inside. For one brief moment, everything went completely quiet. Then Marcus spoke suddenly, and his voice caused nausea to flood. I am sorry here. Is there a problem? I am just waiting for my girlfriend. Today, she is getting teeth cleaned. His tone sounded friendly, confused, perfectly innocent still. The same voice telling me he loved time spent together with me. The same voice whispering goodnight through screens. I wanted to block it out entirely. Then one officer responded firmly, voice steady, controlled, official. I could not hear the exact words spoken, but Marcus's tone shifted, the friendliness drained away. He began demanding answers, asking what was happening, insisting this was mistake then. Shouting erupted loudly, "Get your hands off me! This is ridiculous! I have done nothing wrong at all here!" A scuffle broke out, furniture scraped loudly nearby. More voices overlapped, shouting commands, barked sharp, urgent, a crash like chair tipping. Hard onto floor, Rosa pulled me closer, positioning herself protectively there between me and door, as if her body could shield me somehow. I gripped armrests hard until my fingers ached. Every instinct screamed, run, hide, shrink, disappear completely. But nowhere was safe. Then sudden, crushing silence, heavy, suffocating, endless quiet. A knock on door made both of us jump. A woman voice, calm professional, called through wood. "This is Officer Chen with Madison Police Department. It is safe now to come." Out slowly, Rosa released shaky breath, squeezed my shoulder gently. She walked to door, opened it very slowly, revealing a female officer standing in the hallway. The officer looked past. "Rosa to ward, where I sat frozen in Chairbrook. You can come. Out now safely, please. He is in custody." I stood up, unsteady legs threatening to collapse. Rosa took my arm, guided me toward doorway. Each step felt slow, heavy, unreal, like water. This could not happen. This was not my life. Surely not real. We walked down hallway toward the waiting room. I do not know what I expected seeing, but nothing prepared me for the image waiting when I turned corner. Marcus lay on floor, face down, restrained, tightly, hands cuffed behind back. To officers stood over him. Watchful and tense, a third spoke quietly into shoulder, radio clipped. The waiting room chairs were knocked all askew. A magazine rack tipped, contents scattered across carpet. Dr. Aguilar stood nearby by the reception desk, face pale yet composed. Heather, the receptionist, stood beside him, eyes wide, hands pressed over mouth. Marcus lifted his head as I entered slowly. Our eyes met briefly, and something sharp, cold, twisted deep in chest. The warmth I imagined seeing in him vanished, the charming asterisk smile. The gentle patience, the kindness making me feel so incredibly special, before all of it vanished suddenly. What stared back at me was flat, hollow, and filled with something like pure rage. "Brooke," his voice sounded calm, eerily conversational, and steady. "Tell them this mistake. Tell them we are together." I could not speak. I could not move. I only stared silently at this stranger wearing the face I once trusted. One officer stepped forward and explained what they found. His real name was not Marcus Webb at all. It was Daniel Fenton, instead wanted in 2 states for assault, stalking, imprisonment. There were women before me, 2 others harmed previously. One escaped after 3 days, another held nearly 2 weeks. Dr. Aguilar recognized his face from a news segment aired just the week before, warning of a dangerous man still actively on the run. Asterisk, when Marcus entered that morning, Dr. Aguilar knew immediately who sat across from him. He excused himself calmly, confirmed suspicions quietly online, and called 911, pretending to review patient records. He saved my life by staying calm throughout, not confronting Marcus directly, finding a silent warning without risking anyone else. Daniel Fenton was arrested that same frightening morning, charged with stalking, attempted kidnapping, and multiple violent assault counts from previous terrified victims. Police told me later he planned what he called a trip meant for us. A cabin rented hours north of Madison, hidden, isolated, remote, where nobody would hear screams. They found zip ties inside his car, quickly duct tape in trunk, and a packed supply bag that turned my stomach hearing. He waited 3 months, patiently, carefully building trust, waiting for the perfect moment. That Thursday morning. Was it my car in shop? No one expecting me anywhere until lunch? Should have been. His trial happened 8 months later, downtown courtroom proceedings. I testified on day 3, sitting wooden chair 15 feet from the man who once held my hand. Gently told me I was special. My voice shook first, but I forced myself onward. I told the jury everything: the bookstore, dinners, messages that made me feel safe. I told them about note Dr. Aguilar showed me and terror flooding me. Then I did not look at Daniel while speaking. I could not bear it, but I felt his gaze on me the entire time. He was convicted, fully sentenced to 23 years. The judge called him predator who used charm as weapon. She said only vigilance of a careful observer spared another woman's life. The 2 women before me reached out after verdict. We met at small diner halfway between Madison and Milwaukee on rainy Saturday afternoon. I did not know what to expect. Their part of me feared seeing them would make everything feel more real, more permanent, harder to escape. But when I sat across from them quietly, something shifted inside me. They understood like no one. They saw the same eyes, heard the same lies, trusted the same performance. One woman named Adrienne said she slept lights on, the other, Kira, said She avoided dating 2 years we did not fix or offer empty comfort. We sat together quietly and felt understood fully. We still text, sometimes checking in, reminding ourselves that we survived this. I moved out 1 month after the arrest happened. I could not stay where Daniel knew everything, where I slept, ate, lived. My mother begged me home. I considered it briefly, but I was not ready to leave Madison behind. Instead, I found new apartments, secure building across city with doorman cameras everywhere. Natalie drove down to help. She asked no questions, just packed, carried, stayed near for 1 week straight until I slept again. I still see Dr. Aguilar for regular dental checkups. First visit after everything. I brought him a card and restaurant gift certificate. He tried refusing, gently shaking head, saying nothing. Anyone would have done the same thing here, but I knew better. Most people would not notice a face. From the news, most would not stay calm. Call police without suspicion. Most would look away, tell themselves not involved. Dr. Aguilar did not. He stood between me and a dangerous predator. So quietly, Daniel never knew. It was even happening. I think about that daily, about noticing, trusting instincts. Being someone who acts when something feels wrong. I dated a monster for 3 unaware months. He was patient, careful, convincing. But he made one mistake. He walked into a room where someone was watching.